Lord is mighty. The Lord can quench the evil flame. Peace when trouble blows. Jehovah sees. Jehovah knows.
This is my story. It all began in 1985. I was a third-year student in the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. One Saturday, a Christian sister brought someone to my room who came looking for me from Lagos. And he introduced himself to me as Shola. That caught my attention because my name is also Shola. So I asked him, "How did you know me? How did you know my whereabouts?" Then he said to me, he had met me 5 years prior when I was in high school. However, he recently got to know about my whereabouts from a friend named Maligned, who we attended high school together. So when he spoke to Margaret about me, Margaret said, "Shola had become born again now. She's in the University of Ibadan." So he decided to come looking for me. I asked him, "Why did you come look for me?" He said, "I'm happy that you are born again now. I am also born again. And I would like to connect with you." So I listened up to him. So we continued to visit. Fast forward, he told me that God said I was his wife. I said no, because I didn't hear for myself. So he insisted for 3 years and over. So I got to the point of considering the fact that he said God told him that I was his wife. And I did not want to disobey God. So I gave in to the pressure. And in October 1988, we got married.
Peace when trouble blows. Jehovah sees. Jehovah knows.
In 1989, we had our first son. That was in July. And in September 1991, we had our second son. Something happened in December 1992. We were in church and Shola indicated that he needed help with secret pain, and that bothered me. So when we go home, I asked him if he would like to share with me his pain. So he told me that before we got married, he had a daughter in 1979. and that the daughter is now 13 years. I was devastated. I was disappointed. I felt betrayed. I felt manipulated. So I broke down into tears. And I said, why? Why did you hide this important piece of your life from me? Why did you not tell me before we got married? So he started begging me. And he said I should forgive him. He said he didn't want to tell me because he thought that I would not marry him if I knew about his daughter. So I said, it pays to be honest. It pays to be transparent. What would be, would be. Why should you hide that from me? Anyway, it was very hard. It was very painful. But I forgave him. And he begged me not to tell anyone. He said he did not want any external influence that might cause negative impact on our marriage. So he asked me not to tell anybody. So I didn't tell anyone. Not my mother, not my brothers, not my sisters, not my friends, not even the church. I bore this pain all alone. Just because I did not want our marriage to be destroyed. In 1994, June, we had our third son. And in December, Shola said to me that his daughter was having a lot of difficulty academically in school and she was about to drop out, and asked if he could bring her to live with us. So I agreed. So he should bring the child. The child is innocent. So he brought the child, and then he asked me if I would want to give her a name that flows with the rest of the kid's name, because our children's name are from the Bible. So I said, he's already bearing her name, is Yabo. Why should I change her name? That's her name. And she said, oh no, if you really accept her as your daughter, let her belong, let her name also reflect the names of the other kids, whatever. So I prayed about it, and I chose for her name, Love. So I gave her name Love to flow with the Bible names that our children had. because God is love. And also for her to know that she is truly loved. Loved by God and loved by me. I took her as my daughter. I got a private tutor for her. And she was able to pick up academically. And she improved tremendously. And she blended nicely with the family. And we're all happy together. And every time I see love, I love her so much. I just wished the father had been honest from the beginning. That would have saved us a lot of pain.
Peace when trouble blows, Jehovah sees, Jehovah knows.
I was a high school teacher. In 1990, Shola lost his job. So he spoke to me that we should start our own business. But that will require a lot of sacrifice. And he said, I would have to be the only one supporting the family with my salary. So I said, okay, it's worth a try. So we started our business and we were participating in World Bank projects, bidding in Nigeria. We were also bidding for projects sponsored by African Development Bank and different other financial institutions and government projects. And God blessed us. Our business was growing very fast and we were expanding. Things were going well for us. So she asked me to resign so I could join fully the family business. And I did. Then we saw some opportunities in East Africa, but to fully take advantage of the opportunity, we needed to have an East Africa presence. So we decided to open our office in Uganda, in Kampala, Uganda. That was in 1995. So we're in Uganda. But things did not go as we planned. Business was not forthcoming. Things were not going in the right direction. So we looked at everything and decided to relocate back to Nigeria. So we left Uganda in 1996. That was in June. And we're in Nigeria for that period. So Shola said, for us to have a better international business opportunities, he would want us to start our business in the United States of America. And I agreed, because most of our equipment were US equipment anyway. Most of the things we were supplying to World Bank and different projects were coming from the United States, so it was a good idea instead of traveling so many times to the United States in a year, we will just be in the United States running our business. So we applied for a visa, for business visa, and we were given business visa. That was in December 1996. And in January 1997, we relocated to the United States and we started our business in Georgia.
When trouble blows, Jehovah sees, Jehovah knows.
Shola would always tell me, there are people that want to destroy our marriage. And I put on my guard. I ensured, I protected our marriage so that nobody will be able to destroy it. In 1991, my sister accused Shola that he was sexually harassing her. Shola denied it, and I believed him. It was hard, but I had to protect my marriage, more so that he insisted it was because someone was trying to destroy our marriage. In 1995, his secretary accused him that he was sexually harassing her. Here we go again. Somebody was trying to destroy our marriage. It was very hard. It was difficult, but I trusted him. I believed him. He denied the allegation, and there was no evidence. It was your word against mine. But something happened in 1998. Shola's daughter, Love, accused her father. And she went to school to lodge a complaint. She was 19 at this time. She was attending a high school in Georgia. And we got a phone call from school this fateful day. I will never forget. We were told to come to school right away. It was urgent. So we went to law school. Lo and behold, we were told that Love had come to lodge a complaint of sexual harassment by her father. My life was shattered. I was broken. That was the most unthinkable news I was expecting to hear. I know that Love had been disrespectful towards her father and me. But I just assumed it's a teenage thing. It's a cultural shock thing. But I was wrong. So, fast forward, I sank into depression. Our home became a living hell. Love would call police on her father. I was losing my mind. Everything was deteriorating every day. So Shola said he would want me and our 3 sons to go to New York to stay with my mother and my brother's family while he travels to Nigeria with love.
When trouble blows, Jehovah sees, Jehovah knows.
So we got a ticket for me and our 3 sons to go to New York while Shola and his daughter Love went to Nigeria. When I got to New York, I was just still thinking and wondering what has become of our home. And I got a call from Nigeria. It was Shola's elder sister that called me. And she was chastising me. She said, I took our children to New York just to temporarily say hi to my mother and my brother's family, and I chose to stay there. I was not comprehending what she was saying because it was not even a week that we go to New York. So I said, why is all this? What's going on? So she told me that Shola had claimed that I was cheating on him, that he had done secret DNA and 2 of our sons were not his sons. I never knew, because I knew it was not true, because I never cheated on him. She said that Shola claimed I stole his money. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on now. She said that Shola said I hated his daughter, and then I kicked her out of the United States. I was like, okay, things are getting really terrible right now. And she said, Shola said my mother did voodoo on him to destroy our family. I was like, what? I almost died. So, not only her, different people were calling me from Nigeria. And the same story, the same thing she said, they were all saying. So, I spoke to Shala, what is going on? You know what happened? You didn't tell them what happened? Where did you make this story from? This is the devil. So I told them, I will tell the truth and let people know exactly what happened to us and why we're in this situation. So whenever anybody called me, I would tell them exactly what happened. So he got upset, extremely antagonistic, became extremely defensive, and said to me, I'm out of this marriage. I said, what's going to happen to our children? Yes, there was a problem. What plan do you have to solve the problem? That was the beginning of the estrangement. And for 12 years, Shala held to his narrative, fabricated his lies, held on to his fabricated story to malign me. And I had to take a cleaning job and a babysitting job to fend for me and our 3 sons. Cut my access off any account we had in the bank, credit card, everything. He told me he was no longer interested in the marriage. When our sons got admission to college, we called them, he said it got nothing to do with them. This went on for 12 years. My life had been shattered, but I held on to God. I trusted God, who is the righteous judge, who knows everything. Shala never faced his fears. He never addressed the situation. Rather, he ran away from it. Rather, he maligned me. He fabricated stories. He told lies against me. He abandoned me and our children.
When trouble blows, Jehovah sees, Jehovah knows.
So since 1998, that we left Georgia and I came to New York with my 3 boys, and Shola went to Nigeria with love. There was no reconciliation. Everything was lies and fabrications. And I could just understand why Shola was not ready to deal with the situation. But it chose, instead of finding a way to reconcile, to go for divorce. So even though I was hurting, I wanted reconciliation. I wanted him to change. I wanted things to be healed in the family. So I continued to pray. But it takes 2 to tango. It takes 1 to walk away. So she have filed for divorce. That was in 2007. And initially I did not feel good, so I contested the divorce. Because of our children, I know God hated divorce. I just wanted things to be resolved in a way that will be honest and with integrity. But it chose to walk away, abandon me and our 3 sons. So, in 2009, his divorce was granted, and that brought closure to the whole thing. So I was praying and fasting, and the Lord spoke to me that I was an Abigail in the hand of a Nabal, but it would make me a Sarah in the hand of an Abraham. I knew God was talking about marriage, but I've never dated anybody for 12 years. I had already told most of my friends and close associates that I'm done with marriage. That is a dead end for me. I don't want to be hurt again. I don't want to be married again. I don't want to be taken advantage of again. I don't want to be manipulated again. And I kept it to myself because I didn't have any clue how God will make this happen. So that was in August 2009. I didn't share it with anybody. So in September 2009, a brother in our church was going to California to visit his brother who was widowed, and he decided to take resources from the church to share with his brother. And that was how his brother got to know about our church and got to know about me. And fast forward, his brother, contacted me, and we started talking, and he asked me to marry him. So I took it to God. This time, Lord, I want to hear you speak to me. I am not going to take one step without you saying go. So the Lord said to me, that is the Abraham I told you about. He is the Abraham. His name is not Abraham, but he's the man that loves me, that fears me, like Abraham. I was like, wow. And the Lord said, go for it. So, Dr. Agbeti came from California to visit me in New York. That was in November 2009. And in December 2009, we were happily married, and God restored my joy. God restored my life. God made a way where I thought there was no way. God will make a way for you. Keep your faith in God. Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Lord is mighty. The Lord can quench the evil flame. Peace when trouble blows. Jehovah sees. Jehovah knows. He is my peace when sorrow nears. Jehovah sees. Jehovah hears. Feel the presence of God upon the waters. Hear the voice of the Lord within the thunder that rolls. King of the flood, the Lord is mighty. Mighty. The Lord can calm the troubled soul. Troubled soul. Peace when trouble goes. Jehovah sees. Jehovah knows. He is my peace when sorrow nears. Jehovah sees. Jehovah hears. Like the bread I need to live. Jehovah takes. Jehovah hears. Gives me peace when trouble blows. Jehovah sees. Jehovah knows. Yeah. Judgment coming, He is my peace. Man pursue me, He is my peace. Judgment is coming, He is my peace. War may follow, but I know He is my peace. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, He is. Jehovah, yeah, He is my peace. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I will worship the Lord, for He is worthy. I will lay down my sword, the Prince of Peace is His name. King of the flood, the Lord is mighty. Mighty. The Lord can quench the evil flame. Evil flame. Peace when trouble blows. Jehovah sees.